Did you see the picture Derek made? My plan wasn't to make it the way he did it, but I did give him all the stuff for it.
Is this how he did it?
This is exactly how he did it. This is almost like exact.
So chefy.
Yeah, very chefy. $28, please.
Hello and welcome to WTF, where we help you transform food in the kitchen. I'm Janie.
And I'm Roman.
And on this channel, we talk about unique ingredients, techniques, and show you recipes for your kitchen. Now today, because it's spring here, we are doing our take on a very vibrant spring pea Panna Cotta salad. So if you're like, I don't know about Panna Cotta in a salad, we're going to show you how to make one that is, of course, dairy-free, but also incredibly delicious and beautiful. So I'm going to have Roman just go right into it and show us how do you make this recipe.
All right, so let's get right into it. Spring is a great time of year, probably one of my favorite times to cook besides fall. And you know, you get a bounty of nice, fresh, almost summery vegetables, springy vegetables or whatever. So this recipe is super easy. This is, I always like this. I had this one time at a restaurant in Agunquit, Maine. I can't off top remember the name of the place, but I remember having it and I remember thinking, wow, that's a great idea for a salad. It was super easy, it was very fresh, and it was right in the middle of the spring, so it like worked out perfectly. Cool. So let's get right into it. All right, this one's very easy. We have our fresh spring peas that I have already blanched. We have some parsley that I have blanched also, some salt, and some vegan gelatin, which will hold everything together.
Okay.
Now for this recipe, you can use a multitude of things besides parsley. I've used it with basil, and I've also used it with mint. Okay. And both of them came out really good. I actually like the parsley a little bit more because I just like the flavor of parsley. But they both lend to a very vibrant panna cotta. All right, so we'll start out by adding our water to the blender, and we'll add our peas.
Okay. And how long do the peas and parsley typically take to blanch?
So parsley you want to blanch really quick because otherwise it'll start browning. So this is about 30 seconds blanching, and you want to go right into an ice bath. The fresh peas, on the other hand, you want to go about 4 to 5 minutes for fresh peas. They're a little harder, so you definitely want in there longer. You can also use frozen peas, and that takes like 2 to 3 minutes of blanching. All right, and we're going to add our parsley. Give it a nice spin. Now we're just going to turn it up high. And we're going to let that spin for about a minute or two. While that's spinning, I'm going to add salt to my vegan gelatin and just give that a mix. And then we're just going to slowly sprinkle in the dry ingredients to the blender as it's spinning. Once you have it all in there, you want to let it spin for another minute or two. So once you finish spinning this, about 1 to 2 minutes, make sure it's nicely pureed. You want to pass it through a fine mesh strainer, and then you'll get this.
Okay, so that removes all of the excess fiber, makes it nice and smooth.
Nice and smooth.
Okay, perfect.
All right, so once you have it pureed and passed through your strainer, you want to put this into your pan, and you want to heat it up to a boil.
Okay, and that's to activate the vegan gelatin?
That is, yes.
Okay, so vegan gelatin, while Roman's doing the heating, so our Druids grow vegan gelatin, so this is a special type of blend of Carrageenan. So it's not an actual gelatin because it's entirely plant-based. There are no animal products in here. One of the things that we've seen when people are trying to make any type of vegan gel is a lot of times we're using agar, right? Or we're trying to use maybe some gelins, but with the agar, what you get is a very rigid gel. It's a very opaque gel, and it doesn't have that elasticity and the mouthfeel that we're accustomed to getting from animal gelatin.
Right, it tends to be very brittle.
Exactly. So the vegan gelatin is a specially formulated product that's designed to mimic that mouthfeel and give you that yield and to give you more of that creaminess. So if you check the links on our blog.modernistpantry.com, you're going to see a lot of recipes that feature Druids Grow vegan gelatin where you're looking really for that kind of creaminess without the use of animal products. Of course, you can use it with animal products, it doesn't matter, but for people who choose not to, this is a great option to get that texture and to get that experience without it.
All right, so we're almost there. Either use a whisk or, as I'm using here, rub a spatula because it will start to burn on the bottoms. Okay. So you definitely want to keep it moving while you're bringing it up.
I love how vibrant the green is in this particular recipe. It definitely evokes spring. It looks like you use food coloring even though there's no food coloring in it.
All right, we're ready to go into our molds. So we have our molds set here. This is a little plastic wrap on the bottom of them. Make sure it's nice and tight so that puree doesn't seep through. And we're just gonna pour this directly into the molds.
Right, so you just barely brought it to a boil. You're not looking for it to like really bubble and cook the peas or anything. Okay.
Plus you're also trying to make sure you keep that vibrant green color at the same time. But all right, so that's set. So we're just gonna go into the fridge. This sets actually very quickly. Usually in about 2 to 3 hours, you're fine. You could just unmold them.
Okay.
So we're just gonna put these in the fridge and we'll be right back.
All right, and we are back. And as you can see, not only do we have our spring pea panna cotta, but Roman did this beautiful chef plating of this salad. So this is undoubtedly restaurant quality work right here. If you are in a restaurant and you want a cost-effective way to wow your guests, look at this. You know, it's just peas and vegan gelatin and then a bunch of vegetables.
That's it.
But it looks like a work of art. But now we're going to taste it and see if it tastes like a work of art as well.
All right. You go first.
I know. This is like when there's so much plating that I don't want to mess it up. And I'm like, oh no, now I feel bad.
But you have to.
I'm going to do it. I'm going to have it with a little mushroom.
Oh, yeah.
You scored it. It's extra
Yes,
fancy.
that's how you know. It's an extra $10 right there. Yeah.
Super fresh.
That's very nice.
Very, very clean flavor.
The panna cotta is excellent,
yeah,
actually.
Pure pea flavor.
Yep.
You know, as you saw, there's not like a lot of seasoning going on in there.
Nope.
You don't need it. It tastes like spring. You know, the vegan gelatin made it just creamy enough so that it's not like falling apart. Textures contrasting with the like vegetables, which are a little crisper, have a little bit more body to them. Great job.
Thank you.
Great job. Absolutely excellent. You can get the full recipe in the links in the description below. And from here in the Modernist Pantry Test Kitchen, I'm Janie.
And I'm Roman.
And we transform
food.